city where the heat is on all night on the beach till the break of dawn.
Welcome to Miami. Bienvenido a Miami.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of I Can't Believe It's More Content. How are we all doing today? It is a beautiful Monday afternoon. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing pretty good. It's hot as hell in here. It is September. It is muggy. It is still warm. It is not fall yet, but they're serving pumpkin spice lattes at Starbucks. Nothing makes sense anymore. Anyway, I am joined again by the wonderful, illustrious, beautiful, mysterious Jaime Pinero. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
Cue applause. Well, hello everybody. And I am not a fan of coffee.
But he's a fan of caffeine, though.
Actually, not really.
No?
No, not even.
You had some caffeine earlier.
I did have caffeine earlier, and I didn't even finish it.
Well, I have some caffeine here. I have some sparkling ice water, brought to you by Sparkling Ice. I don't know the company, but it has caffeine. It's sparkling ice plus caffeine, so that's really cool.
One of the newer products.
Yeah, it's definitely new because we did an event and they usually have sparkling ice, but never with caffeine. So I think they're trying something new. I mean, it's not bad. It tastes pretty good. You know, like one of those Starbucks refreshers. Anyway, trying to get a sponsorship, trying to get paid. Anyway, hope you guys.
Shout out.
What's that?
Brand shout out.
Brand shout out, man. I want to get that money. I'm trying to make that money, bro. It's not easy living in New York. You know, and in case you're listening to this in Kentucky, you got it easy, bitch. Okay. So we're in episode 3. I hope you guys enjoyed the past 2 episodes, and I think we're getting the ball rolling here. I think we're doing really well. We got all these setups. We have a spotlight on the roof. We have our producers in the basement cooking up pies, and
cupcakes.
Yeah, Apple is up, and they're gonna have an event in my basement. Anyway, so let's see what do we got going on. Anything new with you, Jaime? Let's start with you.
Well, next month I'll be filming for the web series that we're actually both in, called Jaded the New York Effect. It's a cafe scene. I play like one of the workers named Tito. And recently we just actually had a launch party for the first episode. Did you actually enjoy yourself? Because we both went.
You sound so robotic. Did you enjoy yourself? Please leave a 5-star rating. I guess there was a wrap on Jaded filming. We talked about it on, I think, the first podcast. It's like the LGBTQ friendly web series about like Latinos and
people of color.
Just people of color, and we had, what was it, Saturday? The party was. It was very, very interesting. Attending as a straight man. It definitely, is a different type of scene from what I'm used to, but I could appreciate it. What they had going on. There was I missed the first couple shows. There was apparently a comedian.
There was a comedian. There was, I think, a musician or two.
Yeah.
That performed. I think they just performed like one song.
Right.
Kind of went by pretty quickly.
Yeah, there was open bar and everything. And then they had a drag show. A couple of drag queens came out, and they had a backup dancers.
Which the drag queens were actually the 3, like, main cast members in the show.
Right. Yeah.
They dressed up in drag, for the party.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely interesting. Like I said, it's very, very different for me, but I was there to support the show, support the director, fellow castmates, and everything like that. Plus, it was free drinks, so hallelujah.
And there was one guy that was our fan favorite.
Fan favorite?
Yeah, was our favorite. The guy who was living his life on the runway.
Oh, that dude. Oh man, I feel like he looks like a Brian.
We'll call him Brian.
Yeah, this one dude was just literally I'm talking about. It was like 11 p.m. This guy was like bouncing his ass on the stage, almost falling. you know, with like one drink in hand and doing that, you know, the like shoulder move thing.
The shoulder move, and he was actually getting low and bringing it back up slow.
Yeah, all of that, all of that in the bag of potato chips, you know. And yeah, he was running up and down the runway, you know, by himself, like nobody was watching. He was just in it. He was in it to win something. I don't know what it was, but he was in it to win it.
I'm pretty sure he thought it was his party.
I think it was
And
Brian's.
he was the center of attention.
It's Brian's extravaganza. Like everybody, look at me. I guess it's a theme there. Just look at me.
And you know what? Everybody was looking at him.
Yeah.
He did his thing.
Yeah, he definitely did. You know, it was a good time. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, it was a fun night. You know, went out after, had some more drinks, and partied all night long. But yeah, that was going on, and he, Juan Martinez, the director, he released the day after, or a couple days after, the episode 1 to the public. And we actually got a viewing, because we actually left early. They had a viewing, but at 1 a.m., and there was no way in hell I was going to stay that long. Because I was tired, and like, it was, I don't know, it wasn't very like, not friendly, but like, it was just, I didn't know anybody, we didn't know anybody. And
We didn't know anybody. Well, we kind of just knew like either other castmates or like Juan.
Yeah.
But
And
everyone kind of like knew each other.
yeah, it had a vibe of like a cliquey vibe, where most people knew each other, and I don't know, just felt, you know, it was there long enough. But anyway, he posted episode 1, and we got to get a good look at it, and it looks pretty cool. You know, it's an intro to the whole story of how he arrives in New York, and you know, he meets people, he meets a guy that he likes, and all this stuff. But I believe it's about, I think it's like 10 minutes long, something like that, right?
Well, the first episode, it's around like 7 or 8 minutes.
7 or 8 minutes. Okay, it's like a short
I mean,
film.
if you want to check it up on YouTube, Jada the New York Effect.
Yeah.
You know, just watch it.
Yeah, it's public. Episode 1 is public. I'm not sure if he's going to release the rest of the episodes soon, or if he's holding them back, or he's going to do like a monthly, weekly thing. I'm not really sure, but yeah, that's as much as I know.
And if I'm not mistaken, Alex over here, he's going to be on episode 2, so you should watch out for that. Either episode 2 or 3, and I believe I'll be in episode 8. So I haven't filmed yet, but Alex has, so I'm just waiting on that.
Oh, how many episodes has he planned?
I think it's 10.
10 episodes.
It's 10 episodes.
Wow. And how many has he shot? Has he shot them all, or he's
No, he hasn't shot them all because I haven't
haven't
filmed
shot
yet.
every
And another guy that I met was in the cast yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Or not yesterday, I'm sorry, at the party. He said he hasn't filmed yet either.
Okay.
So he probably has filmed like maybe the first 3 episodes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a you know, an ambitious project.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know he said that it took about 2 years to complete, and you know, I can't even imagine doing more after that. You know, continuing the project. You know, unless he's very passionate about it, which he seems like he is. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. Make sure you look on YouTube and subscribe. You know, check it out. Leave a comment, a like, etc. I'm sure there'll be more parties like that for future stuff. You know, seems like definitely wants to celebrate, you know, the milestones we got going on for him. But yeah, that's going on.
How about you, Alex? What's been new with you?
I'm trying to think. You know, I've definitely been so busy with the podcast. You know, trying to get this out there for you guys to check it out, the video and the audio simultaneously. Mostly audition. Like I get auditions, but I feel like I'm so busy that it's hard to, because I don't want to do a bullshit audition. Just like you know, just like put the camera up and then, you know, kind of like half-ass my way for it. You know, I feel like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do like 100%, 110%, or I'm not gonna do it at all unless I have to be really invested in the project itself. But you know, I have an audition I have to do later today for I think it's like a feature film, some like gang film, something like that, and then I believe I have to do another one very soon this week. But in terms of like actual filming, yeah, it's kind of slow right now. You know, we'll see where it picks up after you release the podcast episodes. I think, you know, definitely could focus more on the acting side of things and, you know, creating more videos and such. But yeah, So that's what's going on with that, with acting. Actually, I went on a boat party not that long ago. You know, like last week with a couple of friends. You know, just to like talk about like personal stuff. But
How long? Like a 4 hour?
it was like 3 hours.
That's not bad.
Wait, was it 3 hours? It might have been 4 hours. 3 hours, 4 hours. I don't know. It's somewhere in between that. But yeah, I was like, you know, I've actually never been on a cruise. I've been on boats before. You know, my friends had boats and go fishing and stuff like that. But I've never been on like a cruise. Like I know a lot of people go on like Sandals. They go to the Caribbean on the cruise to like Bahamas, Puerto Rico, stuff like that. But yeah, I've never done it. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. And it was exactly how you would imagine like a singles cruise would be, just full of like.
Well, I'm imagining something, and I really hope it's not what I imagined.
It was like if you could imagine like the prison in like Arkham Asylum, like in Batman, like just full of like it's like scumbags and like the lowest of low in the city, just the bottom of the barrel, just you know.
Just desperate.
Like the Lizard and like.
Oh no.
The Calendar Man. I know the Lizard's Spider-Man, but I mean like just like these creatures like from the depths of Tartarus. Like they just like came up for this singles cruise and they were like looking for hot honeys to butter bread. Like
Were some of them greasy?
They were definitely greasy. You know, there was some definitely interesting people, and I had a great time just people watching. Like I had a fucking ball. And this girl we were with that we actually met on the outside, she was getting hit on by a blind guy. Like, and I found that like, you know, not hating or anything at all, but I just thought it was like very, very ballsy of that guy. Like I definitely give him props for just like approaching, and she's a pretty girl, just approaching her and just being like, yeah, I didn't really hear it because it was so loud, but they had like a really like long conversation going on. I was like, wow, that guy like, he's got it going on. He's got the juice. This guy.
Alex, just to let you know, he was Daredevil.
Oh shit. Damn, he let himself go.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You know, we really haven't heard from him in a while, so.
Right. You never know, man. He might be spending a little extra time at Krispy Kreme. You know, getting that 2 for 1.
Yes, I love Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, but yeah, that guy was like, and he just kept bumping into her in the night. Just sorry, that was like an unintentional joke. Just kept bumping into her.
I kind of just thought he was really bumping into her because.
No,
okay. How did he know that he was blind? Did he just have like the big
he had the cane.
black? Okay, but did he have like the big black glasses on?
No, he had the eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I mean, you know,
unless he's like a really good actor, like I don't know, like it seemed like he was pretty blind.
This is actually New York City, so you never know.
Yeah, that's true. He might be. He could be fucking. He could be one of the dudes in Arkham Asylum who's just like faking it. And he's actually a genius villain with an IQ of 3,000.
Blind people need love too.
Hey, I'm not hating on him. I'm not saying that they don't. It was just like for him to go on a singles cruise and like hit on women. I was like, yo, that's baller. Like that is fucking.
That's confident, really.
That is real confidence. Like first of all, like you can't even level yourself on that boat.
Yeah.
Like it's like shifting and shafting like left and right, and then you're just grabbing hands and, you know.
Whipping his cane back and forth.
Yeah, we're going to hell, bro. We're definitely going to hell. But yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, towards the end of the night, it got a little creepy because there was these 2 girls who. Well, first of all, I went to the bar, and this girl was just like staring at me, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And she was like, "You know, you have beautiful hair. Like, I love your hair." I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." You know, I grabbed my drink and I left. And she followed me, like, back to where my friends were. And, you know, I was talking to my friends, and I turned around, and she's right there. And I was like, oh, hey, like, but, I was just stirring up conversation. Like, I didn't think, like, she was a creep yet. She was like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, her friend came over, and then she was like, oh, my God, yeah, look at his hair. You know, he looks like that guy from Game of Thrones. And I was like, oh, Jon Snow. Like, I felt, like, mad flattered. I was like, oh, yeah, you know, I actually, like, live my life, like, just for him, like, all that stuff. Yeah, anyway. She was like, yeah, and then I was like, you want to touch my hair? Like, I'll let it out. Like, I was pretty drunk at this point, so I was just like, I let my hair out, and I was like, go ahead, touch it. And she was like, oh my God. And then she like put her cheek on it, And I was just like, oh yeah, thank you so much. And they're complimenting whatever. And I just kept talking and talking. And she's like, oh, who's your friend? And it was, I was like, oh, this is, so and so, and these are, I don't remember their names, but, and then they just kept talking, and like, when you are in a conversation and you're trying to like get out of it, and you just like they're talking to you, and you're just like, yeah, so, we're gonna, and they're just like, oh, blah 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 blah. You're like, oh damn, you're like every time you try to like end the conversation, they just like bring up something else. So it's like they just keep like dragging you into it.
You know what you should have said?
Yeah.
If you wanted to have them leave you alone.
Yeah.
Like, it was nice talking to you. I just want to let you know I have lice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, she kind of was rubbing your hair, putting it on your face. I have lice,
Yeah.
and then she probably left you alone.
I think at one point I made the joke that I was gay, but I don't think she got it.
That's my thing.
That's your like real thing. That's your real
That's
out.
my real thing.
But like I think I made a joke about it, and she just like laughed it off, and I was like, damn, there's like nothing that could like get you away.
You could have been. I would have been like, I'm sorry, my friend has lice.
Yeah. What just put you on lice? Like this.
Well, because she was touching your hair.
Yeah.
And she was putting her hair on her face and everything.
No, this girl was so.
So this would have. Okay, honestly, and if she was okay with that, after feeling your hair and putting it on her face,
Yeah.
and she wanted to keep talking to you, she's one committed woman.
This girl was so creepy that she probably would have said like, "Oh, I'll pick them for you. No, it's no problem. Like that's not a big deal."
I'll pick them. I'll eat them.
Yeah,
It's
like
okay.
like a monkey. I swear to God, she probably would have did that.
No.
It was that strange. But then the cherry on top is the cruise is over. We're leaving, and then my friend's like trying to talk to some girls, and we're like, oh, we'll maybe go to after party or whatever. And then we're like sitting on the corner and see the girls coming, and I'm just like telling our friend, I was just like, oh shit, here they come. And I was like, do something. And they're like really like 2 feet away from me, and then I jump up and I grab our friend and I just pick her up like Fabio, just like pick her up, and I run across the street like
I got
like
one.
running away. And she said she looked back and saw their face, and they were just like had like a scolding like, damn bitch. So, it's like
creepy.
watching, huh?
It's so creepy.
Dude, oh my god, like it was
quite
so
the
weird.
experience.
It was so weird. But my friend, the girl we met, she bumped into the blind guy again. I don't know how. And that was cool.
She bumped into him.
Yeah. In a twist of fate.
I was gonna say that. Fate. Hey, I mean.
They say opposites attract. I could see you can't. But this is fucked up. All right, sorry. Moving on. Anyway.
I can see you can't.
Anyway,
It
so
would be really interesting.
It's all
I
for
mean,
fun.
if we're talking about like blind people and opposites,
Yeah.
like this probably does happen. If a blind guy or a blind woman was dating someone who was deaf, they could see but they can't hear, but the blind could hear but not see.
Sorry, say that one more time. I was worried about your distance.
I was saying that if someone who is blind, I mean, you could probably edit this out, but someone who was blind was dating someone who was deaf, that's definitely opposites attracting.
Yeah.
They could see, but one could hear,
That'll be one hell of a wedding, I'll tell you that. Like, you don't have a DJ, you don't have a...
I pronounce you husband and wife. What?
Who picks the songs?
Where are you?
Do you get a photographer?
Oh, this is so mean.
This is very mean. You start...
We have an image. We have an image that we gotta uphold. We can't regret things that we say.
It's all for jokes, man. I'm just kidding. I love everybody. I don't hate, but it's all in good fun, Apologies if anybody is offended by this. But we're testing everything out. But yeah. So yeah. So I asked a bunch of friends, what are some interesting topics we could talk about, and one of the things that somebody brought up was what are side gigs that actors can take, because as an actor you can't really. It's tough to have a full-time job and do auditions at the same time or filming at that rate, at that expense, because you have to probably take off work or go in the morning before work or during work. It's always very fickle. It's you have to be very flexible with your job. So somebody was asking like, what are some jobs I could take, or what kind of job can I have, or side gigs can I have like while I do acting, and I don't know, what do you think? What do you think are some?
I mean, of course, you have like the typical jobs as like being waiter or waitress,
Yeah.
a host. You have those people do that. You could be like a brand ambassador for a company. What else is there, Alex?
Robot. Okay. Okay, robot. Host. So I think, there are, especially in this day and age, there are definitely a lot of opportunities to do like either like create your own hours type of jobs or flexible jobs. Definitely an obvious one is Uber if you have a car. I've done Uber on multiple occasions because it's good extra money. As a full-time thing, I'm not sure. It's not great because you're spending a lot of miles on your car, and you have gas, you have expenses, mechanic stuff in case something happens. But yeah, that's definitely one. If you don't have a car, there's other stuff. I think you could use your bike for things like DoorDash or Postmates, Grubhub. I don't know if Uber Eats you could use a bike, but I know there's those delivery services like that you could use a bike in order to get places, and you just have like a little backpack to put the food in, or like packages. A recent one is Amazon Flex. Amazon Flex, a friend told me about that. It's like Uber, but with packages. Like you deliver packages. You go to a warehouse and then you pick it up and then you take it to the house the destination.
I mean, also there's another. I won't say it's like a flexible part-time. Well, it could be a part-time, but not probably as flexible. But I know a lot of actors who, they want to stay in that field. So some of them, they work like on Broadway, like, selling merchandise or, ushering for performances. Most of Broadway performances are late at night anyway. I mean, if you go to the, like matinee, like the 2 p.m. shows.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people, especially I know one girl that I worked with, that she works for one of the Broadway shows. I think it was Wicked, and she sells merchandise, and they pay good money. It's good hours. It's a good way to kind of stay in your field of interest and not get bored because that's what you like. Because let's face it, people, like. You really have to have fun in what you do. So, it kind of fuels you, even if you're not on stage. Let's say if you want to be a theater actor, you're around it, and it's like, okay, one day, I'm gonna be up there, or there, wherever the stage is. I'm gonna be somewhere, wherever the stage is. So, like, that's a good job too, if you're an actor, or musician, performer, anything in that business.
Yeah. One other thing I'll definitely say, even though you have to build a type of skill, and it's something that I do as a part of the Visionaries brand, is doing photography. Do headshots, or you do event photography or videography. It's freelance, but there are apps that you could use, and like Thumbtack. Thumbtack is a good freelancer application. You could book photo shoots, headshots, portraits, event videography, weddings. I did a wedding with a friend about a week ago, which went really well. I mean, you have to definitely build on your craft for that. It's not like it's not like you talk to people, and be like personable. You have to like know what you're doing, like technically. But if it's something that you're interested in, it's something you could try as well. So yeah, definitely check that out as well.
Also, Alex, what do you feel about just being like a background actor as part of like just
Oh.
your side job?
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about this in episode 2. A little, actually, we talked a lot about it. They're very, very passionate about background, and not in the best way.
Because I mean, I know people who they don't have like their like day job, like all they do is background to live. As you know, they try to work further into their acting career.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. You know, I don't knock it. You know, get it how you live it. You know, it's money is money, and if you don't have a regular job, it's a great alternative. You know, if you're not on the books, you know, definitely if you could do background acting, I'd say do it. But you just have to be careful, because if you are getting into acting and you do a lot of background acting, people may notice you through either looking through like TV shows or resume or reels. They might see you in background and they're like, yeah, we can't use you. You know, people have seen you in background and
they'll literally pigeonhole you as a background actor.
yeah, because you got to think about it like this: like social media is so prevalent in like our daily lives that somebody could say that like, oh, this guy was like he was like a hobo in Gotham, and now he's like or something like that, in ways to try to bring you down. And you know, it may not turn out that way, that it's like mostly negative, but you know, people do that a lot.
I mean, there's some actors who started from background, and I mean, they just worked their way to the A-list or B-list.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, example, Brad Pitt. He started off with I think he started off with Central Casting.
Yeah.
And now look at him.
Even
guy from
Rami Malek.
That's him, right?
Rami Malek.
Yeah.
He's the lead in iRobot.
I was gonna say iRobot too.
Mr. Robot, which is a great show, by the way. Mr. Robot, and now he's playing Freddie Mercury in the biopic.
Did you know he was also in one of the Twilight movies?
Really?
Yeah.
Was he a wolf?
You know, he was a vampire, actually.
Oh, that's insane.
That's insane.
It's insane. And I don't think he was even doing background that long. I think it was like a year or something like that. From people that I spoke to. And, you know, that goes to show that, you know, not everybody gets pigeonholed. But that's what a lot of people try to scare you into, is that if you do, like, tons of background. But I would just say be careful. You know, don't try to, like, be in front of the camera. I know it's definitely... I don't want to, like, keep talking about background, but...
I mean, that's what you want. You want to be seen, but...
It's a rookie mistake to want to be seen. Don't get seen, because then if they see you in the front, and it's gonna be like that guy was like the halal guy, you know. Like,
I mean, I think the most I've ever was seen was in Gotham.
Yeah.
When I did it, but
right.
like when I did Billions, I probably was only seen like once, and I was on I think it's the 3rd season or the 2nd season.
Yeah.
For like half the season, I was only showed once. And then it was a Hulu film that I wasn't seeing at all, so that was just a nice paycheck. Just a nice paycheck, really.
But yeah, if you're trying to get some side money, or if you don't have a full-time job, background is definitely something to look into. What else? But yeah, so those are some jobs for you. Another topic that a friend of mine asked was about getting training for acting. You know, starting classes, things like that. I know it could definitely be very intimidating for people, you know, especially if you're not in the field. Like if you studied, say like if you just went to say finance, like if you studied finance and you're like, you know, I always wanted to get into acting, like I always wanted to do this, but you know, you don't grow up with it. Like you grew up with musical theater, I grew up with film production, in college, and you know, and so forth. But some people like have literally no experience in doing that stuff. And you know, what I would say is if you're in school, try to find an acting class, you know, like a drama class, theater class, or like try to like go with your friend to class, see if you could audit it and just like check it out, see if you like it or not. If your friends are doing short student films like NYU or like whatever it may be, just be in the background, or just be there to watch. Like you don't have to act, like just watch and see how everything goes, because if you like grew up with like doing like a financial degree, like you don't know how movies are made. True. You know, like you watch it on the big screen and you think, a lot of people think they know everything about it just from watching it, but you don't. Like there's a lot of things that go into it. And you know, just watching the process is a very fulfilling thing. You know, even doing background, like you do background and you see these big productions like Quantic or Blacklist, like how they do it, and you're like blown away. You know, it's a lot of stuff.
It's a great experience.
Great experience. You know, a lot of equipment, a lot of expensive equipment. You know, they shut down like streets in Manhattan to do this stuff. Like it's just it's wild. It's really crazy. But for classes and training, yeah, I would definitely say if you're in college, look into that. Or you know, if you could audit a class. Just usually if you could ask like an acting friend like what classes they like the first like teacher they had maybe for acting, you know, see if you could like go in their class or audition for the class. Sometimes they have like audition for the class, not
These
rare.
are people for like if they're in college still and in school, you know, right?
Partially, yeah.
Because I mean,
You
also like there's also like free intensives that you could go to, free classes, just so you know, like you know, you'll learn a little bit, see if you're interested to take a certain instructor, a certain coach. But I do believe that if you're interested in acting, I think taking classes and learning like deeper within the craft is really necessary. I know people who they really don't believe in taking classes as an actor. Like one person told me that if you're a great liar, you'll be a great actor. You don't need classes. I mean, same person that they told me that my headshot looks like a girl.
Yeah. Lying is not acting, folks.
It's not.
Lying is not acting. You know, when people when people like if you lie to somebody about something and then you're like a bad liar, people say, "Aren't you an actor?" Like act, but you know, like that doesn't make any sense. Like you sound like an idiot. You sound ignorant. Like that's not what it's about. It's not about lying or making yourself look believable in a lie. You know, it's about situations and like creating a character and being believable in that situation. You know, it's people are stupid.
I mean, also with this person, like I respect their opinion. You know, that's them, but I know.
No, don't respect that opinion. Fuck them.
No. As
Don't respect
I have
that
to
opinion.
respect their opinion. I just know like what's best for me.
Yeah.
And what's gonna get me further. And if I take a class, if I take an intensive, like that's what I'm gonna have to do to deepen my acting talent, my acting abilities.
Yeah, you're too nice.
Thanks.
You're too nice. I wouldn't put up with that shit.
I mean, like I said, it's his career, not mine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's
All I could do is support and help, right? So
Yeah.
I support his decision.
Yeah. Yeah, you could also check, you know, if you don't want to do, like, I think, like, you should stay away from subscribing to castings for now, for a while, you know, until you get headshots, but that's down the line. You know, you find out first if you want to do it, if you really want to pursue it more, and then you go to the next step, which is getting professional headshots, getting your casting subscriptions. But another good outlet is Facebook. Facebook has free casting groups that they do, like, who wants to do like be a model, like they're like a photographer like somewhere in Colombia or something and they're doing like a project. Be a model, you know, they don't pay, but you know, it's experience. Be a background for some student project, and they're just like they're just putting up castings, like it's free. You just ask to join the group and they just put you in. You don't have to pay. You just have to have a Facebook. You just have to, you know, sacrifice your identity to the government. That's about it. You know, who needs it? Who needs it? Who needs your fingerprints? Who needs Social Security? Who needs privacy? You know, nobody needs that anymore. Just give it up. Be a hoe. Be a privacy hoe.
Well, privacy hoe. You really love that word, hoe.
Oh. We're all hoes deep down inside.
Yeah.
We all have inner hoes.
Mine's locked up in a cage.
Yeah, that's what we
Threw away the key a long time ago.
Coming soon to a theater near you. Jaime the hoe.
No.
19.
No.
But yeah, so those are some.
Also, guys, actually, since we actually talked about headshots, and if you want to get that along the line, just my key advice is do your research on the photographer that you want. Because it's if you have a good headshot, most likely people would be more intrigued by you. Versus if you have like such a crappy headshot with, let's say, shadows everywhere and there's like this random light beaming in your eyeballs, you know? So I honestly feel like, I mean, this is what I did. Like, I had to research photographers, see what I liked best. That's something that I've learned when I went to school for acting. That when they talked about headshots, they showed me a good one and they showed me a bad one. They're like, the good one most likely will get work, the bad one won't. And when I say bad one, is like those kind of like crappy like high school pictures that you take. Those aren't good headshots, folks.
Yeah,
Those aren't good
but like I
headshots.
said, that's down the line.
Yeah, no,
Like,
down the line.
farther, don't worry, because people get like very anal.
Mm-hmm.
Because of Instagram and like social media, they have to have perfect pictures. You don't need perfect pictures right now if you're just starting out.
I mean, the reason that I say that is because I am part of those Facebook groups,
Mm.
and there are people in those groups that are like, oh, they want a headshot for this audition, and is this headshot a good headshot?
Mm.
And they'll post a picture, and it's literally them in the car with just a picture from their like shoulders up.
Right. I mean, but they don't understand.
No, that's what I'm
what
saying.
What it is.
That's why I'm explaining.
But that's a selfie. That's just
That's
a
a
selfie.
selfie, but people like
You can have somebody take a picture of you like against the wall. It doesn't have to be a whole photo shoot. You know, just for now, like just starting out. You know.
but
what I
make
mean?
sure it's a nice picture.
Yeah, make sure it's a nice picture, but it doesn't have to be like GQ quality.
No. But
Yeah.
to make sure it's a really nice picture.
Baby steps. Baby steps. All right. That's paying $300 for headshots right out of the gate. This might guarantee you to get in the door, but if you look like an asshole and you don't know like how to act in front of casting directors, gonna be like probably the first 5 seconds they'll know that you have no idea what you're doing. They're gonna say like, no, thank you, next. That's how cold it is. That's how cold it gets. The rejection gets very, very cold, and you have to have a very strong spine.
Or you don't even have to say anything. There, like my cousin went through this. That he went into an audition room. They saw his picture. He was standing in the room, and they said next, and didn't even say a word. He just, I guess, didn't fit.
Yeah.
But make sure it's a nice picture, folks. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. We'll do another episode on headshots and stuff like that. Maybe bring in our own headshots. So something other than acting, I want to get a little bit different off topic. So yeah, to change the topic a little bit, to get other than acting, have some fun. I also asked some friends about this because I talked to some people randomly. We brought it up, and I was like, this might be an interesting conversation. And it was I asked people like, what was mostly women, because that's people my audience. Well, like, what are like your worst DMs or like pickup lines, like the worst fuckboy ones? Like out of nowhere they'd be like, "Hey, big head," or like
Big head.
yeah, or something like that, or like or what's another one? It's like, "Hey, stranger," or like, "Oh, you think you cute, huh?" Like that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's very like basic fuckboy type of shit, and like my friends like put some like extreme examples up, not crazy explicit, but just pretty funny, mostly from like dating apps. But then I don't know. Somebody said that they got hit on in LinkedIn, which is like
That's not a dating app.
if you're hitting a woman on LinkedIn, like you're a piece of shit. Like, what are you doing? Like
He wants a professional woman.
and it's always like somebody that like is like high up, like the CEO of like Volvo.
Like I said, he wants a
It's n-
professional woman.
It's never like it's always like somebody like really like up there. It's like Steve Jobs' ghost. Like I don't know.
Oh no.
Oh god. Like, hey Scoop. Okay. So I have my other computer here because I can't use this computer while recording. What is this? So yeah, this was a random text. Oh wait, well I just noticed this was on Tinder. I'm an idiot. So yeah, one friend was on Tinder, and I guess she was texting back and forth this guy some gifs. Yeah, I said GIF, not GIF. Fuck you. Said oh, the last GIF was Nick Cannon in a turban. I really want to know the context of that one.
Nick Cannon and a turban.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that's Nick Cannon, right?
that's Nick.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like him in a turban.
It looks like him. I mean,
I don't-
not all
it's
black
like-
people look the same, folks. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It looks like
Looks
either
like
Nick
him.
Cannon or Prince.
Definitely not Prince. It could be like a Nick Cannon lookalike,
Prince Cannon. I don't know.
but he is actually in a turban.
Yeah, I really want. I'm gonna Google this later. But yeah, he sent a GIF, and then that was on Friday night, and then Sunday night she says, "What's up?" And then Monday night he says, "My erection."
Straightforward and to the point.
Yep. She was like, "Yep. Well, I deserve that." So yeah, that was one. Well, I guess. Another one from another friend. I really don't know what app this is, like this dating app. Like it's with yellow text bubble. I don't know, maybe Bumble. I'm not really sure. But she messages him. She says, "How bad are you at pool?" And he's like, "Ha ha ha. This is a little explicit." He says, "Ha ha ha. I'll put your ass on the green, bend you over, and spank you all over that table with my crooked bar cue." Metaphorically, of course. She doesn't respond.
I think I wouldn't respond. I wouldn't respond either.
Who does that?
See, honestly, I think it would be funny if she asked, but why is it crooked?
No.
Because I'm just like,
I don't know, maybe.
okay, crooked. I'm like, all right, well, no thanks.
You explain how that works.
Me explain?
Tell me the crooked penis anatomy.
I'm just like, I mean, I know it's all comes in shapes and sizes and angles, but like, it's not supposed to go like, it's supposed to go like maybe like 90-degree angle, maybe.
Yeah.
Not like 65.
From what I hear from my grandmother is that penises come in all dimensions.
Your grandmother says that?
Yeah.
That's an awesome
She says,
grandmother.
I, mijo, the pipi, it's 4x4 or 20x20. I'm like, Grandma, stop!
Your grandmother is a G, son.
Jesus, stop! What are you doing? You're like geometry with penises. Like,
Leave it alone. She's old.
it's like mijo, a squared plus b squared equals. Ay, Dios mío! I'm like, all right, Grandma, I'm taking you home.
I can't with you.
Um,
Grandma, okay, love you, bye.
So okay, here's another one. I got a few of these. A different girl. She said one night I had a guy who I met at a college party, who we had a flirty conversation, and he texted me that same night saying, "I'm just gonna be really abrupt about this. Do you want to come over and have sex tonight?"
Like I said, that's straightforward.
Very straightforward.
You know, he knows what he wants, and that's that.
I guess it depends on the context of the conversation. Like if you're just like talking about like work and like being like, haha, yeah, I do this, blah blah blah, do that, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, you want to fuck? Like, we were just talking about puppies. Like you like want to fuck? I have a puppy here.
It's like I was just talking about how
Talking
I
about
just, you know, it's like my grandmother's funeral, and now you're just doing want to fuck. Like,
Yeah.
not gonna work.
I mean, yeah, it depends on the context. Like if you're like really like all over each other, like if you're like making out and stuff, then it makes sense. But if you're just like talking about like, oh yeah, I like vegetarian cream cheese on my bagel, I don't know. You're like you're Hail Marying that. Let's see. Here's another one. Oh, I like this one. So this other girl just randomly said she was at a bar with friends, and this guy just walked up to her in the bar, like with no context, no background, not even a hello.
Mm-hmm.
She just gets up from the stool, walks over to her on the other side of the bar and says, "You won't have to worry about your parents not liking me. I'm great with Asian parents. All my exes were Asian, one from each country, Japan, Korea, and China." Like I said, no introduction, no like, hey,
No,
like,
hi, how are you?
How's your night? Like, you want a drink? No, your parents gonna like me because I dated Asians before, and she's
I
Chinese.
can't believe there are people like this in this world.
I told you, niggas ain't shit.
Now, do we have any more?
Yeah,
A lot more, apparently.
a couple more. Yeah. Well, you were gonna say something.
No, I was gonna say like those are like women experiences. I was gonna say from like a man's standpoint, have you dealt with like a pickup line that like when a woman was trying to bag you?
Yeah, probably. But I mean, I'm a guy, so I would just go along with it mostly.
At least he's honest. And yeah,
I mean-
there were times, that I was around and yeah, you did go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not gonna say like I didn't. Like there are times where I did go with it and then I didn't.
Right.
There was one time I was like 20. I was at a club, and it wasn't busy at all. Like the club wasn't packed. There was like maybe like a few people.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was in Pennsylvania, so there's not a lot of people, So the guy comes up to me, and I don't know, this worked. Okay, this one worked. The guy comes up to me. He was like, "You're the cutest guy in this bar, in this club." And I look around, and I'm like, "Yo, there's only 10 people here." So, me being confident, I'm like, "Yeah, I know I'm the cutest." And he's like, "Oh, can I get your number?" And I was like, "Ask your friend." And then eventually, he got my number for me. And then there was another time.
You said ask your friend?
Yeah, because I knew.
You gave your number to the friend?
Well, no, because I knew the friend. Like he was my friend too.
Oh, gotcha.
So I was like, ask your friend. He's like, "Oh, you want to play like that, huh?" I mean, eventually that worked. It was just because like where I was staying, he like lived a block down, so I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool."
Mm-hmm.
But also there was another time like I was just dancing, and some guy comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, I like the way you dance."
Mm-hmm.
And people who know me, like I used to dance a lot, several years ago, being part of dance companies. So I knew how to move. And then literally he was like, "Can I get a kiss?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "No." And he literally says, "Why not?" And I just said, "I'm not that kind of guy." So I walked away, and then he made out with a friend of mine. I was like, "Huh,
Nice.
well,
There you go.
this is why
If you can't
I
get first,
said no."
if you can't get first, it takes second.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
But he had the audacity to say why.
Hey, man.
No is no, folks. No is no.
You guys are very aggressive when it comes to that. You guys are very aggressive when it comes to the sexuals.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can't really think of an example. And like I said, for like women to guys, they're not very aggressive. They're not really.
I think some of them can be though.
Some. The majority is not.
Mm.
I'd say the ratio is 90% to 10%.
Like the one girl, was very aggressive. We like to call her Smurf Lady.
Who?
Smurf Lady.
Oh. But it's different because she was just looking at me across the bar, and then she walked past me in the bar, and then I was like, "Hey," I said something. I didn't just.
Oh,
say,
you
hey.
said something first.
Yeah. So I mean, we just like that long gaze that you're looking around and then you meet eyes and then you're just like, "Oh, okay," and then you meet eyes again. You're like, "Okay, something's going on here. Something's going down." And then she does that baiting thing where you just like walk in front of them, and if they say something they're interested, if they don't say anything they're not, and then I said like, "Hey, blah blah blah," and then she just came over, with her things that like
she kept adjusting herself,
Yeah.
folks. And then it actually came to a point where my friend over here didn't want to talk to her anymore, so they were trying to
she was
escape.
trying to like drag me to the club. He was like,
Yes,
"Oh, come."
like after hours.
Yeah, like 3
That's
in the
scary.
morning. I was just like, I'm honestly kind of tired. Like, I'm a lazy. If I was a hoe, I'm like a lazy hoe. Like, you gotta like come to my bed. Like, you gotta get like a cab. I'll have to give you the cab, but like you have to get here yourself, and then get out like afterwards. Like.
And me being the token gay guy, people feel that, or like women feel that, oh, to get to my friend, I have to get in with his gay friend. So, she starts talking to me, and I'm just like, why? Because I wasn't really conversing with you the whole night.
Yeah.
And, she started talking about some experiences, thinking she could relate to me. And I turn around, and my friend over here, he's gone. So that's what I mean, like, girls could be aggressive as well, but it's like, she really wanted him, and clearly he didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
even though he did put the first move and said hello.
Yeah, and so that's what I mean. Like, once it's already established, women, they feel more comfortable, they get more aggressive, but the initial approach is mostly always a guy, and if guys get that approach, we almost always not say no. We almost always say yes, because it's so rare. For women, they get hit on all the time. Like we was talking about on the train, like guys will literally like follow you like they say like, "Hey, beautiful," and if you don't respond to them, they'll like follow you out of the train like to home, and like you don't respond, they're like, "All right, bitch, you ain't that good looking anyway with your flat pancake ass." Like, you know, let's say shit like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, that's a lot. That's a lot. I understand why people, why women say like
too much.
men aren't shit, like death to men, you know, fur is murder, like stuff like that. Like,
You said fur. Fur is murder.
fur is murder.
That's
like-
the most important thing, folks.
Yes, you know, Cruella de Vil was a bitch. Oh well. But yeah, I definitely understand why women say that men aren't shit because
Yeah,
of stuff
no, I
like that.
understand.
Like, hey, yo, ma. It's just like, bro, like that's really like, what are you doing? That's a human being. Like,
Try living in the gay world.
you know,
Men everywhere.
like I said at the party we went to, like, pretty sure a guy like just grabbed another guy's junk like it was like a handshake, just like, hey, what's going on? Nice, and then just like, all right, let's take a picture. And I was like, is this normal? Is this normal for you guys?
Not for me. Honestly, that day, I honestly felt like the kid who was like uncool, sitting by the wall, like no one talking to me, like all the cool kids were just out having fun. And I tried to converse with people, but I got blocked off, so I was just like, oh well. I felt so uncool, folks.
Yeah.
I wasn't the cool kid at the cool table. I was like the nerdy kid, like 5 lunch tables down,
Yeah.
eating by himself.
Yeah, that was definitely
It was an experience.
Definitely an
At least,
experience.
at least for my friend over here, it was an experience. I'm used to seeing stuff like that.
yeah, just
And if you haven't noticed,
just grabbing dick.
if you haven't noticed, they were all kind of dressed the same way and had like the same kind of attitude / vibe to them.
Yeah, they have button ups with like short shorts and like boat shoes. I guess that's like the uniform
I mean, folks, like I guess like I haven't got that memo
with the Caesar
with the Caesar.
and a feather earring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're completely right. Actually,
That was like, it was like the audience in like a wrestling game. It's like all the same, like just copied and pasted. You know.
gotta love the LGBT community.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
do.
No, it's great. It was a good time. It's fun. You know, we
We're a bunch of fun.
got EDM.
You always have entertainment, regardless.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, so that was most of them. I have a few more. I mean, I don't want to like keep reading them, you know. I mean, this last one was just really like. So this guy says, the same girl from the pool cue. He says, "Good evening, my." Okay, so this is really strange. He says, "Good evening, my," and then puts a smiling emojis, like 6 smiling emojis, and says, "You like that? You getting hot and bothered? Yeah." And he says, "Ha ha ha," parentheses, "Don't hate me. What's going on, my little Jewish woman?" And then he said, I don't know if this is the same day or same night. There's no timestamp for those. But at 2:30 a.m. on whatever day this is, he says, "Okay, to be fair, I just reread half my words from yesterday, and I may have sounded a little creepy if you didn't take it as sarcasm. Forgive me. I don't deal with weird men on dating apps, so you could take me out of that category." I don't even know what he's talking about, but goddamn.
He was drunk when he sent that message.
But like, read this. Like, it says, "Good evening, my."
No, I know I read it before.
You getting hot and bothered? Like,
I
because
honestly,
you didn't respond.
I'm honestly gonna say that he was drunk when he sent that.
That's
Because
great.
that is not a normal sober person sending
What's going on, my little Spanish man? My little burrito,
my little burrito,
my little taquito. How you doing?
my my little taquito,
What's going on?
my little empanada pasteleo.
Yeah, you'll be the arroz, I'll be your con pollo. What's up? What's up? Shout out to Ariel. What's up? But yeah, those are some crazy DMs. I would love to see the other perspective, the male perspective. If like, you know, I mean, I've had it happen a few times where girls would just like comment on, but it's usually like typical like basic stuff like the eye heart emoji, like with the eyes and the hearts coming out, or like, you know, like ooh, like stuff like that. It's never like really like creepy or like crossing the line. But I would like to, you know, if you have those, definitely hit me up because I'll read them in the next episode. I just want to get both sides of the.
Once you listen to this, we do have a Twitter page and an Instagram. Like, slide into our DMs.
Yes, please do. I love getting slid into. Wow. Pause. Yeah, but anyway, DM us on Twitter at ICIB. Wait.
There are a bunch of letters, folks. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. It's like you can't put the whole name of the podcast. You can't put I can't believe it's more content as a tag because it's too long and people won't do that. So I just put the I guess.
Isn't it like ICBM?
Yeah, ICBIMC. Sorry. I think of it as like.
So wait, Alex, what's our handle?
For Twitter, it's at ICBIMC. I can't believe it's more content. If you forget, I always think of the 50 Cent PIMP song, because I'm a motherfucking ICBIMC.
Oh, well, that's a good one.
Right? I thought it was pretty clever. Even though it doesn't make any sense when you actually say it. I'm a motherfucking I can't believe it's more content.
I can't believe it's more butter, but instead of butter, you put content.
I can't believe it's more butt. That's going to be the name of this episode.
Yeah, what?
I can't believe it's more butt. Because everybody's sliding DMs and trying to get butt, I can't believe it's more butt. ... Yeah. So, yep, that's the podcast. That's episode 3. I can't believe it's more butt. I can't believe it's more content. Follow us on our social media. I AP Suave on Instagram and YouTube, and on Twitter AP Suaves.
And then I'm on Instagram at Jaime.Pinheiro, JAIME.PINEIRO, and on Twitter I am Jaime Pinheiro.
Yep. So make sure you follow us and follow the Twitter page for the podcast, and the podcast also has an Instagram. It's also ICBIMC. So check that out. The videos will be on YouTube at the Visionaries YouTube. We don't have a YouTube for the podcast because we're trying to promote the Visionaries page. So yeah, that's episode 3. We'll probably see you guys or talk to you guys in about a month or so because I'm going away this week to Greece and I'll be away for about a week and a half. And I believe Jamie's going away too.
And I am going to Miami when he comes back.
In Miami.
Bienvenido de Miami. But I'm only going for 6 days.
Yeah, but still, it's Miami, bitch. Going to Fat Tuesdays. Going to fucking the Cavalier. Is it the Cavalier?
I will be drinking, so I'm not sure.
I forgot the name of it. Yeah.
I'm going to the Palace.
Wicked Willie's. We're chilling on South Beach, butt naked. Maybe you should rent a Vespa. You should rent a scooter.
A scooter?
It's a lot of fun.
Do I need a license for that?
Maybe. I don't remember.
Guys, I don't have a license, so...
Darlene could probably ride it and you in the back.
If there's room for me on the back.
That big old booty.
That's my bestie.
I can't believe it's more booty.
Shout out to Darlene.
Not her butt though. That's separate. It's like two.
That's a whole different person.
That's a whole lot of woman, front and back.
Hey.
But yeah, we're back in about a month. I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you in episode 4.
All right, see you everybody.
Peace out.
Deuces.